So as you guys all know, with this current season, hey, we got it easy if we own Overwatch 1. For the character Kiriko, to unlock her, you had to basically unlock 55 tiers if you're playing the game free to play, which I know a lot of people actually are. So with this season, some of us got out of it. We dodged the bullet. We had Overwatch 1. We were able to just move past that and not grind 55 tiers for the new character. But up and coming, 57 days from now apparently, we're going to be having another battle pass. And with that battle pass, we're going to have to grind the 55 tiers. And if you were wondering, hey, how long is that actually going to take me? Or if you were wondering, there's 79 tiers of like free stuff. Like at 79, there's still a free item. So I have to make it a 79 to get that. I think it's a calling card. What is it? It's basically a calling card. So it's this, right? So you have to earn 78 tiers. You're wondering, hey, how long is that going to take me? If you're wondering, hey, I currently don't own Overwatch 1. I didn't own it. And now I have to go and play 55 tiers to unlock Kiriko. How long will that take me? Well, I tried to compile some math here and I'll try and give it to you effectively. Again, it's going to be very in the air because a lot of the stuff you do might be different. You might not play in a group. You might not get consecutive wins. You might not, get into roll queue and just roll queue for extra XP. So it's in the air. The math is going to be all over the place, but it's sort of logical. Sort of. And again, I'm super curious. Let me know down below in the comments if you are purchasing the Battle Pass this season. I'm curious on where that stands because off of the comments on my last videos, it seems like majority of you are going to run it free to play, but it's on my mind. Let me know. And again, if you do purchase it, remember you're getting a Battle Pass XP boost. That's going to be different. You're going to be completing it faster if you purchased it. So don't be in the comments down below like, dude, I'm on tier 30 right now. I don't know how you're so low. It's because you may have purchased it, you may be a little bit ahead, or you may have completed all of your daily and weekly challenges. You had to give them a few days extra than some people. That's why you're ahead. Keep that in mind because dailies affect this amount a lot. So onto the XP stuff. Now, there's daily challenges in the game. You can only complete 3 daily challenges. Sure, you have all of these challenges over here, but you only get awarded for 3 of them, okay? So for example, if I win a game, that's 1. Now to get the second one, I have to complete a classy flex right there, complete 3 games queued for all roles. Then let's say I do someone has to carry us. That's all 3 of my dailies. I'm done. It's 9,000 XP. To level up in the Battle Pass, that's 10,000 XP. Add that up. Basically, by completing these, it's also going to take you 1,000 XP, like in matches you go and queue in. Most likely, a day, you'll get 1 tier. That's how this daily system is going to work. So there you go. Just chalk it off to 1 tier a day automatically if you're doing your dailies every single day. That's basically how you should do it. Then next up, we do have weekly challenges. These are just a little bit more difficult than dailies, but they are very, very simple. In majority of them, I wasn't even looking towards it. I was just playing normal games, and I finished everything. So, almost everything. I have 3 left. Win 10 games queued as all roles. So I gotta do that. Win 7 games in any arcade mode. Earn 20 team kills. Again, they're pretty simple, but it'll require me to do different things, which I'll get a bonus amount of XP when I do this, so that's fine. But again, altogether, 5,000 for each. There's 11 of them. 11 times 5,000, that is 55,000, which means you can get 5.5 extra tiers per week just from weeklies. It's not half bad. Next up, we have season challenges, right? So with season challenges, there's a lot of XP also in here, but some of the stuff you have to go out of your way to go and do. For example, win 100 games in competitive mode. That's 5,000 XP. That's a lot of XP. Altogether, the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to say this gives you, let's say, 2 to 3 tiers for the entire season. Yes, it's pretty low, but it's 10,000 XP. Then for like per tier, I'm gonna just say you only are able to complete 20,000 XP worth of challenges, which is basically 2 tiers. Again, you can easily clear more. It'll be just pretty fast. Some of them again will require you to play a specific character, but again, you could say 3, 4, 5 tiers you can get from this. But that's basically it from season challenges. I'll say that. Again, you can account for more, but I'm gonna lowball it. There's also lifetime, but I'm not accounting for it because there's barely anything here to really count. Also, keep in mind, if you go to unranked and you go to roll queue, if you play all or if you play support, you will be able to unlock some more Battle Pass XP, 500 per match, which it isn't that bad. Remember that this is a majority way of like gaining a lot of the XP. So if you run it properly, you can probably finish it pretty fast in comparison to before. So this is a recommendation, not that you have to. No one wants to sit there all day playing support, but let's say if you do in this case, it will be faster, but I won't actually account for that because I know a lot of people will not want to sit there and support. Because again, if you play all, it's still 3-minute queue. You might get in here and there for damage, but most of the time you're missing out. That's what I'm gonna stand at. Again, if you want to go and account for it, it'll be way faster, way faster. Now for the math, okay? Let's say you're spending about 2 hours a day. You can probably get into like 10 games at that rate if you're not going into overtime constantly and stuff like that. Again, I'm again lowballing it. That's what I'm gonna do. But let's say 10 matches, you're getting about 750 XP per match without going into the role queue. Again, you can do that for extra XP. That's perfectly fine. So now for Kiriko, what you need is again 550,000 XP. Let's say we do it this way, right? You're 3 weeks into the game. That's around when you'll get it, because you're gonna first off have 3 sets of weekly challenges, which will get you 16.5 tiers. You'll have about 21 days-ish of dailies, which will be 21 tiers. Do the math, that's 37.5. Then you go and add in how many matches you're running a day. I'm gonna say 2 hours of matches, which you could say 10, maybe more games. That really depends on how fast you clear out a game, or if, you know, some games go into overtime, that'll obviously extend and you have to do more matches to gain more XP. Altogether, 750 per kind of match. Over the course of 20 days, you'll basically be done around the 2.5+ week mark into 3 weeks. It shouldn't be any more than that. That would be about 550,000 worth of XP. If you put like 6 hours a day, you can finish this in 2 weeks time flat. You definitely could. Again, it depends on how much time you have to put into a game. A lot of people work, other people have stuff to do, which again, they might not be able to put that much time into the game, which is like 6 hours, 8 hours a day. You can complete that super fast. You could say 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. If you, again, do it over weekly challenges and, you know, focus more on daily challenges, then you're going to push it into like 3-ish weeks, 3.5 weeks if you can't put that much time into a day. Again, missing out your dailies and weeklies are the worst things you can do, because those are like the big jumps you make in progress. 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, that's 9,000 XP. Missing out on weekly challenges, that's 5,000 per. That's mainly why, right? So again, 3 weeks is the good time frame of completing it, because you're including all those weekly challenges, shortening all your playtime. Better to do it that way. But again, people are currently on tier 35 right now, tier 38. If you grind, if you put a lot of time into the game, you're gonna finish the battle pass. That's how it goes. People that have other stuff to do, that have stuff going on, that they can't jump into the game 24/7, they're gonna have to aim around 3-ish, again 2.5-ish weeks in order to get to around tier 55. That's just how it's gonna go. And again, to be very lazy here, you only need 24 more tiers, jumping from, you know, where Kiriko is to the end of the battle pass. So if you want to just say 2 weeks, boom, you check it out, you're done. Again, depending on how long it took you to do Kiriko, it'll just kind of affect the ending range. So you could say 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Pushing it, again, if you're doing it really slow, the end of the middle, let's say, of 5-ish weeks. You genuinely will, because again, just the dailies alone are like giving you a tier per day. How many matches you're putting in, you can also accumulate to say, I'm gonna be doing a tier a day there, 2 tiers a day, plus the weeklies. You're gonna definitely be done with the season in about 4-ish, and, you know, pushing it into 5-ish weeks. So overall, again, the point that everyone's been, you know, kind of standing at, that, you know, moving forward in future seasons, waiting 3 weeks to get the character, again, that's pushing it. You can definitely do it earlier, but let's say it takes 3 weeks to actually get the character. That's a lot of grinding people have to put into the game to unlock a new character to play as. Again, I would literally say this right now, and people are gonna hate me for it. If they left the character in the free tier, perfectly fine, and moved it to like tier 21, 20-ish, that's fine. That's basically like, what, 4 or 5 days into the season. If you do all your daily challenges and weekly challenges like right at the start of the game, that's like 5 days, like maybe less. Again, the game's been out for 2 days now. I made it all the way to tier technically like what, 13, 14. So I don't know. That's basically where I stand. They could have definitely made it a little bit earlier, but the reason I'm guessing they also made it where it's tier 55 is for 2 reasons, right? Number 1, it creates a thing where players can go and buy the battle pass. Just go buy it. I get the character right then and there. It sets a value to the battle pass. I stand at that. I don't like it. They did it. Now, the next thing is you basically set up a thing where free-to-play players have to grind for 3 weeks, right? So now they locked you into the game, grinding for 3 weeks to keep the player retention high. You grind your 3 weeks. Now you've done that. Now you enjoy with the character for the next 2 weeks. Now the next part of the season will basically happen a few weeks after that. So they locked you in for 5 weeks of the season, hence the point of doing this. Now let's say they did it at tier 20, you only grinded 5 days into the season, then you have the character, now you play as the character for 2 weeks, and then you get bored again. So basically to keep players playing the entire season, or as much of the season as they can, I'm guessing that's the reason they did it. Again, I don't like it. I think it's a crappy idea for 55 tiers to be up there. Again, it'll take you 2-ish, 3-ish weeks, that's basically it, but still, it could have been definitely way earlier. 30 tiers, 20 tiers, that would have been perfectly fine, but 55 is a lot. a lot of tiers. So once again, I'll wrap that up with the video. Just remember, all the values can change. If you are spending more time doing more role queue, you're gonna obviously finish it faster. If you're doing less time, as you know, playing with more time doing dailies, it'll be over time you'll finish the battle pass with less effort. That's all the case. That's how it's gonna work. Again, the math checks out. It's around 2-ish weeks. If you're grinding heavily, you're doing all of that, that's how it's gonna go. Now, 3-ish weeks, if you're missing out on some weeklies, some dailies, some stuff like that, you're still playing at least a decent time doing all of that. Again, that's the range. To finish the entire battle pass as a free player, you can aim for around 5-ish weeks. Again, if you do the math over 5 weeks, 5 times 7, that's 35 tiers in just pure dailies. You do the math over the weeklies, that's 5 weeks, times 5.5, you're already around like the 55 plus range of, you know, things. And then how many matches you're putting in of just pure playing the game. Yeah, 5-ish weeks is what I'll stand at. That's really what I got for you here today. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. That's been it. I'll catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, enjoy your battle pass grind, and hopefully you're enjoying Overwatch 2 also.